Welcome to Jonesy's cat shit crazy Music-Biz news. When I saw this article about guinea pigs forced to listen to Adele for hours, I had to speak up for all furry four-legged creatures. Okay, it wasn't as bad as I thought, but forcing them to listen to Adele, damaging the hearing of innocent guinea pigs. To convince recording engineers to back off compression to save human hearing doesn't seem right. They should have at least played House of the Rising Sun by the Animals.
Scientists just made guinea pigs listen to Adele for 7 whole days. And the results are both surprising and worrying. The world is a much louder place than it was before the Industrial Revolution that brought about cars and machines and factories, to the point that scientists have even discovered that birds in cities sing louder and higher in pitch in order to drown out the background noise of cars, building sites, and other sources of commotion. In other words, nature has had to get louder in order to hear itself. In the music world, it's been called the loudness wars. It's a trend of increasing audio levels in recorded music, which reduces audio fidelity and, according to many critics, listener enjoyment. An example of this was in 2008, when the loud mastering practices received mainstream media attention with the release of Metallica's Death Magnetic album. It got a lot of press for just how loud it was. If you aren't familiar with recording devices or transmitting audio over radio or TV or other media, the device they used in the guinea pig experiment is called a compressor. And it's a device that limits how loud a song can be, and at the same time makes the softer sounds rise to the level of the loudest sound. In other words, it'd be sort of like if there was a bird close by and it's singing its heart out, and you can barely hear a bunch of other birds that might be more of a distance away. They're softer. A compressor would take the sounds of those other birds that maybe you couldn't hear quite as well and bring it up to the level of the loud bird that's close to you. So that will increase the overall cacophony, if you will, sometimes, because everything is loud and there's no dynamic range. In other words, there's no soft, loud, just everything is sort of loud. So the experiment, there's always that person who puts a song on repeat forever. It's extremely annoying, but what if you were subjected to the same Adele song for a straight week? The song I Miss You has a distinct frequency spectrum that makes it particularly susceptible to the effects of music compression. That's the reason they chose that song. The guinea pigs were split into 2 groups. One group listened to the Adele favorite song in unmolested form, in other words, non-compressed, while the others were endlessly fed a compressed version, with both groups listening to the track at the same perceived volume level of 102 decibels, which is loud. That's loud. That's Spinal Tap loud. So the result was that both groups had hearing damage. The difference, though, in the test, the hearing of those animals who had listened to the uncompressed Adele made a full recovery within a day. The test was repeated for 7 days with no discernible lasting effects. However, those who had encountered the compressed Adele did not get off so lightly with their stapedius reflexes, never fully recovering and exhibiting half of their strength at the end of the experiment a week later. In other words, their hearing had been damaged. The experiment's findings suggest that having silence between sounds, given the brain a chance to process what just happened and appreciate the surprising peaks to come, gives a listener's brain sufficient headroom to recover from their last surprise, allowing them to listen and understand and enjoy music for longer. Along with hearing damage, loud sound causes increased heart rates, causes higher blood pressure, it affects your digestion, contributes to ulcers, upset stomachs, and acid reflux disease even. So to be clear, Adele's song, I Miss You, doesn't cause hearing damage, though she does seem concerned about vision as she repeats in her song over and over again, baby, don't let the lights go down, lights go down, lights go down, 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 down. Maybe they should have checked the guinea pig's eyesight as well to see how Adele's song might have affected them. Who knows?
So people are beginning to seek silence. As one author wrote, it's not just me. Take TikTok's quiet life trend that has been steadily growing over the past year, featuring deliciously simplistic videos of nature walks and laundry swaying in the breeze, along with quiet getaways soaring in popularity. Is it any wonder? I have exceptional hearing. I'm smart enough to run away from loud noises. You should too. And you recording engineers, back it off from 11 so we can appreciate the music. Thanks for watching.
Gotta love the Jonesy cat, Jonesy.